Was it recording? Okay, great. Hi, my name is Akhil Kumar, and my project is on the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is an iconic painting which was created by Italian artist Leonardo da Vinci. Creating in 1503, the piece had featured a portrait of a woman sitting against an imaginary landscape. Some design elements that the Mona Lisa included are shape, which he uses to create various lines to form the eyes, face, and hair, and clothing and conditions, and he also uses organic shapes for jagged mountains. So some of the materials he used are oil pigment, which is a type of pigment that has a lot of oil in it, just like pastels, for instance. Ground pigments, which are pigments that are created, like using natural resources, so like beets and maybe grass. And synthetic paint is just like normal paint, pretty much paint that has like a certain like mood or tone towards it. The size for the Mona Lisa is 77 centimeters by 53 centimeters, which is 30 inches by 21 inches. The media that's used is oil painting, mainly a lot of pastel types of, what should I say, hand brushes are used when creating this Mona Lisa. The work is a representational art. I mean, of course, the Mona Lisa has like a woman sitting down, which is an example of representational art. This is a 2D art, and its portrait seems pretty obvious when looking at it. And the main thing is the elements of design, which we'll get into more as I present, which are the layers of transparent color, each with only a molecule thick, which makes the lady's face appear to glow and give the painting an ethereal, almost magical quality. This depicts on a woman on a half-body portrait, which has a backdrop of a distant landscape. Of course, this was made in 1503 by Leonardo da Vinci, and Mona Lisa shows signs of secularism, meaning it is not religious based. It has been commissioned for their new home, and it has been used to celebrate the birth of their second son, Andrea. So some principles of design that was used were movement. The movement in the paintings are the trees, the rivers, the mountains, and the roads. Basically, like what's behind the Mona Lisa as an example of movement. Now, the Mona Lisa does have balance, in which, if you look at it, it's symmetrical, which means they have correct proportions. Focal point is basically Mona Lisa was in the center of the photo, which makes it have the balance that the Mona Lisa is sitting directly, and it feels like someone is like taking a picture of the Mona Lisa. Leonardo da Vinci uses like dark colors to make like the Mona Lisa stand out, and he also uses warm and cool colors just for the background. There is some unity and harmony in which Da Vinci blends the colors without like using the bold lines. Some other elements of design that's included are that lines. The Mona Lisa has various lines for the formation of the face and the head. Shape. Da Vinci uses the organic shapes for the curves and the jagged mountains in the backdrop. Color uses brown, gray, and earthy colors to convey a neutral feeling, which doesn't mean happiness or sadness. And tone, it was mainly done in the creation of her mouth, especially in the corners of her lips. And texture, there's a cracked, rough surface, but Mona Lisa had some smoothness on the skin and some roughness on the backdrop. The Mona Lisa has actually been derived from the biography of Leonardo da Vinci, which was like published 31 years after his death. Da Vinci wanted to know everything there was to know about everything the Mona Lisa could know. Standing astride the intersection of the arts and the sciences, he became history's most creative genius. He identified the sitter as Lisa Gherardini, I don't know how to pronounce that, who was the wife of the wealthy Florentine businessman Francesco del Giocondo. Mona was a typical Italian contraction meaning Madonna, which meant My Lady, so the title had meant Madame Lisa. Leonardo was actually fascinated by the way the light falls on curved surfaces. The gauzy veil, Mona Lisa's hair, and the luminance of her skin were all created with layers of transparent color, with only each being few molecules thick, making the lady's face appear to glow and giving the painting an ethereal quality. So some judgments. there are some three theories I did. Formal theory is the gauzy veil, like Mona Lisa's hair, the luminance of her skin, which were all created by layers of transparent color, making the lady's face appear to glow and giving the painting an ethereal, almost magical quality, I would say. Contextual theory, the Mona Lisa is likely a portrait of the wife of a Florentine merchant. The Mona Lisa's mysterious smile has inspired many writers and singers, and mainly painters. For some reason, however, the Mona Lisa never delivered the portrait to its patron, and Leonardo kept it with him when he wanted to work for Francis I, who was the King of France during the time period. Expressive theory, the Mona Lisa's smile displays happiness, while the other half is, neutral. Now, this actually does reflect a non-genuine emotion. So the balance here, like half of her face is, happy, and the other half of his face is neutral. That's like an example of what balance is, really. The Mona Lisa's smile has intrigued humanity since famed artist Leonardo da Vinci painted the portrait in the early 16th century. My theory that I would say is the most efficient theory is the formal theory. Um, Really, judging from the other theories, especially the expressive theory, like it gives the Mona Lisa more controversial and like biased feelings. Like I said, the smile on her face had a confusing effect, and like it ruined the aspects of humanity during the 16th century. Yeah, that's the same slide. In conclusion, the Mona Lisa is one of Da Vinci's numerous works. It was a masterpiece to marvel at to date. Mona Lisa, which hangs on the walls of Musée du Louvre, currently depicts a feminine mystique of a mysterious woman. It gives a visual representation idea of happiness suggested by the word Gioconda in Italian. Leonardo made this notion of happiness the central motif of the portrait, this notion that makes this work such an ideal. And this is my work cited.